Guys, it is now officially a whole month as some of you guys have been in quarantine, dealing with, the lovely COVID-19, or, well, it's sarcasm. That's not really lovely because unfortunately, a lot of people's energy and a lot of people is businesses are taking a real major hit on it. So I wanted to create this refresher not as a refresh the month day about what we discussed throughout the month about protecting your energy, but to take today to kind of focus on rechanneling your energy to be something more productive, like helping out your friends, because you're seeing a lot of your friends possibly dealing with struggles, not being able to go out. A lot of your friends are not be able to make money, especially if they are small business owners, if they're artists, things of that nature. I know one of my friends, she's a makeup artist. I know a few people who are, waxers and beauticians, and some people who are nail technicians. I know people who are, musical artists, and they are literally stuck at home and they don't know what to do. They have been finding creative ways. Just in case you haven't figured out, other people are finding creative ways. Some DJs I know are actually doing live podcast or live shows to try to earn some money. So I'm just kind of using today as a reflect on how you can help other people or help yourself, especially if you are a person who are just sitting there for a couple of weeks during this 14-day quarantine or 30-day quarantine, depending on where you are, to try to figure out how to make your life a little bit more useful versus just sitting around and saying that you're bored. Because I'm noticing a lot of people complaining about being bored and not really doing anything, because those are usually a lot of those extrovert people who are used to going out every weekend. One thing I can honestly say as an introvert, I feel for my extrovert friends, because typically the things that I do at home on my days off is the same thing I would do during quarantine, which is, read a book, write, play some video games, catch up on laundry, catch up on stuff that I can't do because when I work, I'm literally working 10 plus hour shifts and stuff like that. So I'm not really catching up on sleep, catching up on things I need to do and things of that nature. So I take my days off to kind of catch up on those things. So that's as a solo project thing to do is kind of a good thing. But if you're like a band or if you're a musical artist, you can take this opportunity to, actually start writing some music, perfecting a song that you said, oh, it's just missing that little key, little tinted thing. Try to figure out what is missing. It might be just missing some more cowbell, if you know that joke and where it comes from. But it's one of those things where it could be just missing a little bit of something, a little bit more time, a little bit more effort, a little bit more patience. Take that little bit of extra time now that, you guys have no excuse to actually perfect that song. Find out what's going on with it. Finding your sound if you're an artist who is struggling to figure out what kind of sound you're wanting to pull out, and what kind of art you wanting to pull out. And then try to share it to your fans. Do as Onyx Radio has been doing. They've been sitting here doing like little live concerts and stuff to get some of these bands a little bit more notoriety and things of that nature. And Onyx Ali, the owner, she was actually in my live just a minute ago. She is the owner of that radio, and she's been helping out a lot of local bands and a lot of local people. And she's constantly sitting here and sharing the bands because she knows they're struggling, because she's also struggling herself. She is a radio station, but she's also got to make money outside of that. She's her own independent radio. A lot of my own DJs that I do know, DJ Imars Keys, he's still making music. He did try to do a couple of lives on IG, but IG shut him completely down and wouldn't let him share the video because he was sharing music for other artists. If you are a painter, take time to actually make more art. Sit here and create more things. You can use this opportunity right now to actually put out your work and sell it. Some people are actually starting to find out they actually have a talent right now that they didn't know they had because they're picking up crafts. A lot of people who said for years that they wanted to pick up a craft and, learn how to paint or learn how to draw, they're picking it up now. You can actually go on YouTube. As I joke, YouTube is like the new university. You can learn almost everything on there. You can learn how to start drawing. Like, I can draw okay. I typically will take my energy and just draw what I know versus learning new things and learning new crafts. But I don't know how to draw hands. I don't know how to draw the other side of a face. Like, I'll get one side of the face perfected and the other side, I'm just like, you know what? I'll just draw some bangs. You wouldn't even need to know that I can't draw the other side symmetrically. And that's how I kind of get over that. I've learned how to use some of the stuff on my computer. But these are things I do on my day-to-day as an introvert because I like being home. The only thing that I can honestly say is the biggest downfall for me is I can't go to a bookstore. Like, I can't go to Barnes & Noble right now and go smell books because I'm weird. And as a person who loves the smell of books, that would be the only reason I would like to go to a bookstore. I know some people who listen to my podcast don't get that luxuries and stuff like that. But it's one of those things where right now, with a lot of these other countries being in 30-day quarantine and their countries are sitting here paying, I know as millennials, we think, oh, what am I going to do? Where am I going to get my next, the money for my paycheck? Because a lot of these bill places, our minds are automatically going. And I can honestly say last night, I was kind of on that same pathway where my mind was like, oh, I had to cut my hours yesterday. I got sent home early. I only worked 4 hours, not 10 hours. What am I going to do? Oh my God. My bills are going to still be due. They're going to be cut and hit me with late fees. What am I going to do? So it's like I was constantly thinking of the negatives because of, as a millennial, that's where our mind automatically goes. But there's so much good we can do. I had to sit down. I had to meditate and think. There's so many things that we can do. So instead of me using this episode of my podcast to reflect on, protect, like everything we discussed this month, I wanted to take today to say, guys, there's so much we can do. If you're one of those people in the house that are saying, I'm bored, this, that, and the other, these are those moments that you can find what you're good at. If you didn't know you had a hidden talent, now is the time to learn you have a hidden talent. You can start learning to learn a new language. Living in Florida, I should know how to speak Spanish. I don't. There's so many Spanish people here, but I don't know how to speak it. I can literally take this opportunity for 14 days to learn a little bit more than the basic greetings, because I learned a basic greeting in almost every language, including sign language. My sister's actually teaching me sign language, and that's actually something I want to perfect. So every day my sister is like quizzing me on it. So like I tell people, like when it comes to like my passengers, because I do still work for an airline, I tell them that I'm learning sign language, and then I could tell them like little things. And I already talk with my hands, so it makes it easier for me to learn sign language because I talk with my hand. I'm a very animated person. I just don't sign as quickly as other people do. So, I mean, like, you can take the opportunity. And if you're sitting here and you're missing your friends, you have all these venues, all these opportunities. Netflix has did this group watch thing now that you can do if you want to miss your friends. Like, I miss my best friend, Kat. Like, she will come over randomly and everything else like that, and we will sit down and we will actually watch like movies together. But I don't have to really come and see her, because we can literally just do that. There's other ways and other avenues to hang out with people. And I understand some people rather be in the same presence, in the same space, the same energy. If you want to take that risk, okay, cool, whatever. But you have to realize, even as an extrovert, you have to spend time by yourself. You need to take time by yourself and reflect on yourself and figure out what can you do in this time that can make you a better version of you. Like, this should be a time to self-reflect on both sides, extroverts, introverts, to reflect on how to be a better you. How can you make yourself better? Ask yourself that when you start making that automatic thought, like, why am I bored? And a lot of people don't realize if you sitting in there saying, oh, I'm in the house bored and stuff, it's because maybe you don't really like being by yourself. Maybe you consider yourself boring. And the only way for you to be good is for you to get out and be around other people. No, you shouldn't have to feel like that. Find out what about you love and what you can perfect and make a better version of yourself. So then when you are going out, you can sit here and tell all your friends or show your friends what you learned about yourself that you love. Take that time, take this opportunity to sit here and better yourself as a human being. A lot of people are not taking that opportunity. A lot of people are not looking at this as I can use this as a time to reflect, better myself, grow. Now is the time to recharge your energy, make your energy better. Now, I get it. Some people can't recharge their own energy. It is what it is. But most of these people, you can sit down and reflect. Me and my sister, we can sit here and play board games and watch movies and be cool and be content. That's an everyday off day for us. Hell, once a week, I do my sister's hair. I've started like in the last month. Once a week, I do her hair. And that's our bonding. Like, we don't have to do anything else. Catch up on those shows that you've been like seasons behind because you've been too busy hanging out with people. There's no excuse. I'm seriously, like, it really isn't. For those who want to be comedians or those who are funny, y'all could take this opportunity to come up with new material. I see a lot of people, Desi is a comedian I follow. He's been doing like live comedian shows, like talking about his life experiences for people to sit here and come back and reflect and, laugh, because that's his craft. Like, he makes money. He had to cancel his tour. A lot of these artists had to cancel their tours and they're not happy. Like my celebrity crush, Black, he's still promoting his music. A lot of these artists are still promoting their music. Tory Lanez was on live last night, had Meg Thee Stallion twerking to music. So there is plenty of things you guys can do while you guys are bored. And yes, I've noticed now I'm seeing a lot of people go live. I get it. If that's what you got to do to end up making yourself feel better, don't hate on what other people are doing to survive, because at the end of the day, as a community, we're just doing what we need to do to survive and keep ourselves entertained. A lot of these entertainers need to entertain to keep their lives busy. So if you're noticing that they're live every day, let them be live. But they are still needing to make their life and do what they need to do and perfect their craft and go from there. Because guess what? That's how they're going to make a living. That's how they survive. I look at it this way. I am an introverted extrovert, or extroverted introvert. I'm more of a homebody than anything. I look at it as this. When I do go out, I'm going to enjoy that time. I've been enjoying being able to go outside and enjoy the fresh air when I get to go out for my lunch breaks and stuff at work. But more or less, I look at it as there's so much when it comes down to our lives and what's going on. I have so many people that I see that have nothing better to do. Like, for instance, the person I'm talking to is nothing serious. So, I mean, at this point, until he basically say it's serious, he's at home. He ain't got no other choice but to be at home. And me and him, we had a conversation. This is my best friend. So we even have deep intellectual conversations. So when I was talking to him yesterday, he sat here and said, especially right now as females, we get so consumed that when our guys or the people that we're talking to or our crushes are too busy on social media because of right now with the quarantine, we get so consumed with the thought of them talking to someone else when they could be just at home trying to find a craft or trying to preoccupy or entertain themselves. I think that's one thing our generation lacks, is to be able to like find something to do, because we're so used to going out and having fun. Like, I can honestly say I used to be a victim of that. I used to get forced to go outside. I used to want to be inside all the time. I can definitely say I was a self-independent kid, but I had a grandparent who was like, no, you need to be outside every day. Like, no, you're not gonna just sit here and watch TV all day. And then my mom was just like, man, you got a couple hours that's outside, and then after that, you need to be in the house. So, of course, when I was at home with my mom, I wanted to be outside. When I was with my grandparents, I wanted to be inside. So it was a little weird. So now as an adult, it's like I prefer being inside because I'm so used to my grandmother forcing me to be outside, and I didn't want to be outside. And when I want to go outside, I can still go for a ride. I can still go. And I know some of these states are crazy where, like, if an apartment building in certain states, one person is testing positive, they shut the whole building down. Nobody can leave. Y'all, the whole building is on quarantine. Same here in Florida. If an apartment complex has one tested positive person, everybody cannot leave their apartments. So, guys, get creative. Our generation does not lack creativity. They do not lack creativity in any way, shape, or form. We are in a generation where people can create off of simple things. Like, for instance, DJ iMarquis off of simply Cardi B sitting here saying coronavirus on her rant, created a whole phenomenal video and mix, and it is on the billboards right now. So there is no excuse on sitting in the house saying that you're bored and can't do nothing. We do not lack creativity. You guys could find something. If you got to go back to being a childlike mind for like 5 minutes or 4 minutes and build a fort, shoot, I thought about building a fort 2 times this week, like full blown building a whole pillow fort, because I have a bunch of pillows. I can do it. And just like sitting here and doing stuff. I even thought about reorganizing my room at one point. It's just but that's something I think on a weekly basis. So that even before this quarantine, as a person who has a lot of creative mindset and don't like seeing the same thing over and over again, I will switch up the way my house looks several times in a year. And people will be like, bro, last time I was here, your living room didn't look like this. Guess what? It's because that's who I am as a person. So for me to sit here and say as an introvert, I lack creativity will be a lie. Our generation does not lack creativity. Hell, the generation after us does not lack creativity. There's a lot of challenges going on. Take this opportunity to start losing weight. You don't need to go to the gym to stay healthy. I see a lot of these people who are doing these see a shot, take a shot challenges. I'm not jumping on that bandwagon. Look, y'all gonna have me mess up before work. I'm not gonna do all that. But I can definitely go ahead and say, for a lot of these people who are doing the push-up challenge, do it sparingly, within reason. When it comes to these shot challenges, sparingly, within reason. But like I said, nobody should lack creativity. Nobody should say that they can't do anything at this point in time. You can't be just saying that you're in a house bored unless you're a boring person. I'm not trying to be mean, but maybe it's the harsh reality some of you guys need, the harsh reality check. If you can't find entertainment in yourself, then maybe that's where you need to start. You need to take the opportunity to say, well, maybe because I'm bored, it's because I'm a boring person and I need to figure things out. No excuse. I know people who are artists who are still pushing out art. I know people who are musicians who are still pushing out, music. And some people who just wanted to learn new recipes are learning how to do new recipes. So, I mean, honestly, guys, take this time to reflect on who you are as a person. If you're an artist, continue perfecting your craft. No excuse. If you are on lockdown, perfect your craft. If you are a, local business owner, find ways that you can still make some money. Like, I know one lady, she's a beautician. She started creating a sugar scrub to help people. during her time of not being able to make any money. Like I say, Onyx Radio, who I promote model for, she's been sitting here, Renee Onyx, she's been sitting here telling local bands, hey, look, we'll do like small little concerts to showcase your music. Because she does a lot of underground bands. So she's been sitting here promoting that. And she's still practicing her makeup. She's crafting her makeup, making it better. And that's what she's doing. Find a new recipe. Find a new book. There's ebooks and audiobooks out there. Shoot. And if you're a person who's just like, hell, if you want to touch yourself on a religious basis, Pornhub has now stay at home hub, and you can literally use that for 30 days during quarantine. They're trying to promote you to stay at home. And yes, I know about it. It's just like I am what I am. I'm that person. So even for me, like I've taken this time to perfect my skincare routine, because if any of you guys know, I do talk about my endometriosis and the medication that I've had to take for that. It is breaking out my face. I have never had this much scars or hyperpigmentation on my face until I started taking the new medication they gave me for endometriosis in the last year. So I've been taking this time to find a routine for my face to help me get rid of my scars. And as you guys can see, the big one that was here is starting to finally fade, because me not being out in the sun all the time, I have an opportunity to get rid of it, because unfortunately with work, I do have to be in the sun a little bit because of the way our airport is set up. There's a lot of sun that beams down where we actually stand. So like I said, you guys don't have to sit here and be bored. Find something. Go to YouTube and learn a new craft. Catch up on those shows that you've been like seasons behind on. Or catch up on those shows that your friends have been suggesting to you and you just didn't have the time. If you can't find entertainment in yourself and you're constantly complaining that you're bored, guess what? It's not that you're bored, you're just a boring person. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That's just it. If you only find yourself to be fun when you're around other people, sweetheart, you're not really fun. It's just, it's the harsh reality of it. And I really commend those, if you possibly can, if you have the means to be able to support your local friends, even if it means just sharing their work, do it. Now is the opportunity to really support your friends. You don't have no reasons why you can't support them. You don't have no reasons why you can't perfect a craft. Don't make excuses. We're not going to make excuses this time of quarantine. There should be no reason. I know people who are still doing yoga in their backyard. There's people like if I had a yoga mat, I would do yoga on my balcony. I can't do yoga on my balcony. I do it in my room, right next to my bed. And then I'm trying before this month is out. Well, no, it's not going to be before this month is out. It's probably going to be next month. But by the next month, I'm going to be able to do a headstand again. I haven't been able to do one since like I was 22, but I'm going to perfect it before it's over with. And even then, I thought about buying me like one of those poles so I can go ahead and do pole aerobics in my living room again. But I don't think how my sister would feel about that, having a big behind stripper pole in the middle of the living room in front of the TV. And she's over there looking at it now like, I don't know how I feel about this. And she's like questioning her life. But if it's for pole aerobics, would you get mad at me? I'll be getting my workout in, manager, right? Okay. She's giving me a look and she's laughing. But as I'm sitting here and looking at it, I look at it as we have plenty of opportunity to get ourselves together. As you guys can see, I started this quarantine off with no hair and my hair is growing back. I'm pretty sure before this is over with, I'm going to have all my hair back and I'm going to be probably redhead again because I've gotten blonde pieces. It's not grays. I actually figured it out. It's not grays. I freaked out about it for like 2 minutes. I was like, oh my God, I have grays. No, I legit have like blonde hair because of my dad. You know, I'm a grade 8 American mud. So I say African American, but I'm a grade 8 American mud. It's all right. But no, take this opportunity, figure yourself out, figure out what makes you amazing, figure it out. And then at the same time, try to not resort to old habits, because I've noticed a lot of people making the jokes talking about, have you texted your ex yet? Don't resort back and texting your toxic behind exes. Now is not the time to try to rekindle with, people that, was toxic. Because, as women, we joke around saying the best kind of, dick is the toxic one, somebody who belongs to somebody else and stuff. And this is not the time to start confessing to your toxic exes or to the people who did you wrong that you want to get back with them. And I was thinking during this lockdown, I remember how me and you were locked down. Like, I laugh at all those memes, but I real deal know that the reason these memes are probably made is because somebody legit is doing it. So do not take any of these times to sit here and get stuck in a loop and wind up these people's emotions. And they be like, oh, bro, when quarantine is over, I'm going to come back. Or y'all get stuck in quarantine and chill with the wrong people because nobody else can leave their house and nobody else is bold enough to leave their house. So don't do it. It ain't worth it. So I do want to go ahead and give a shout out to the people who actually motivated me to make this episode and take my opportunity on my refresher to kind of say, hey guys, reflect on you, do better you, because these are the people I see on my IG that's just they're not saying that they're bored, they're still sitting here creating, they're doing what they need to do. I have to give it to Onyx Radio. They have been doing live concert, which that right there in itself has been amazing. I commend them. I really, really appreciate them. I'm going to be sharing them on my IG later. So if you guys are not following me on my IG, which is lady_Reiko, Reiko, I'm going to share them on my story so you can actually see the people that inspired me to make this episode, because I see a lot of people saying, oh, I'm bored, but I'm seeing a lot of people who are making a lot out of it. There is an artist, Desi 0814. He's a comedian. I think I said the wrong numbers. Don't quote me on that. Hold on. I can tell you in 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Desi 4018. I said the right numbers in the wrong order. Desi 4018. He's a comedian I follow. He is still making art and content. Wild 'N Out crew is still sending out a lot of their stuff, and they're still being comedians. DC Young Fly, he's still doing stuff. And DJ iMarquise, that's my best friend. I'm very, very proud of him. And I think I say this almost to him every fucking day, and I think he's getting real tired of me. I sit here and I have to say, I'm very proud of him. I've known this kid since he's not a kid, he's older than me. But I call everybody kid, so don't freak out. I call them kid, kiddo, love, stuff like that. It's just who I am as a person. I give you these names if I'm cool with you. If I'm not, I'm just oh, hun. If I call you hun, you're temporary. But if I call you love and baby and best friend, he's best friend, he's stuck with me, it's it. We've been friends way too long at this point, fucking 2012, 2011. But I'm very proud of these people. Y'all are showing me what people can really do when they have nothing else to do at all. These people are showing me that there's people in our generation who do not lack creativity, who can be at the house and still create and still push out content and still be the best version of themselves that they could possibly be, even during the time of this pandemic. So if you're seeing these people and you're like, man, I really wish I had something to do, no excuse. Hell, I know some people who created TikToks this week. Bruh, do it. And they already racking up views from being on TikTok. So at this point, I don't feel the need to sit here and say it again. But then I also feel some need because a lot of you people are stuck at home with your kids. So this is an opportunity to take time and invest in your children's education, especially if you're in a down south state. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know the education system down south It's a little backwards. But this is an opportunity for you to actually make your child more advanced. So when they do go back into the next school year, they already ahead of the game. You could take this time to mold your children to be a better version of themselves. So when they go back to school the following year, they're already higher and more advanced than the next group is. This is an opportunity for you to take control of your child's education, because I know a lot of parents, hell, even with my godkids, I have 5 godkids. I literally know if and when my baby mama see this, because I call her baby mama. She's not the mother of my godkids. She's baby mama. When she listens to this and sees this, she can take the time and mold my goddaughter, because she's the only one who's in school out of all the other kids. She can literally mold her to be more advanced than the other kids right now. Like when she goes back to school, she can be teaching other kids things that they didn't already know, because she's already a smart and bright girl. She's a very intelligent girl. She makes me so proud. And I know she wants to stay on her good grades because, Christmas time coming, she knows that Raiku's going to be buying her a really nice gift depending on how much she got at the end of the year. I collected at the end of the year, and that's what she gets for Christmas. Now is the opportunity. You could take the opportunity. If I had a child of my own, my child will be learning whatever their grade level is and then some, because I want them to already know more than what they are. My mom kind of molded me, like my biological mother, person I talked about in like all my previous episodes, who kind of fucked me up. But she also did a lot of good. She did a lot of good. When she was in her good state of mind before all the other shit happened, my mom wanted to make sure I knew my phone number by heart, that I knew how to get back home if I ever got kidnapped or ever got lost. Because I was a lasky kid. I stayed home by myself. And I know my mom had me teaching my brother when I was 7, 8 years old. I was teaching my younger brother his math. Like I was doing his homework with him. So I'm already prepared to start doing that with the next child, where, when I do have my own kid, and if it came down to like this moment, I will educate them a little bit more, especially now in a lot of the schools. They don't teach you how to balance a checkbook. They don't teach you about finances. This is an opportunity that you can teach your child, especially us in the Black community. We could teach our children how to do things that we weren't taught in school, that we had to learn in real life experience. Because they say, oh, economics is going to teach you. No, economics does not teach you that. Economics does not teach you how to write a check. Economics does not teach you how to pay bills. They don't teach you how to do nothing. I had to learn how to pay bills at a young age, because guess what? At 16, I was living with my father at this point, and I had to learn how to pay my own bills. I went instantly from an abusive household to a household where my dad didn't know how to raise a teenage girl and didn't know what I went through previously, to I cared so much about myself when I moved in with my dad, because I was so used to taking care of other people in an abusive situation, which I shouldn't have been doing. I had to grow up quick. So now if I ever have kids, I know what they will need to know to survive without the trauma, I'm going to teach them how to balance a checkbook. I'm going to teach them that it's okay to not be okay. That, even in the Black community, they sit here and tell you, oh, you just need to pray about it. Let it go to God. No. Take the opportunity now to teach and educate your children and get them out of those stigmas. The stigmas that we have placed on us from generation to generation to generation. Teach them to break the mold, break those boundaries that we have been set and bounded to for generations untold. Because next month, guess what, guys? That's what we're going to be talking about, is stigmas, relationship, family bounds, all that stuff, stigmas. We are going to be talking on a deep intellectual level. And I really want you guys to take that in consideration right now while you are with your children. Teach your kids the things that you wish you were taught when you were a kid. Now is that time. In this time of quarantine, while your child is staring you in the face doing homework, teach them the things that you wish you were taught. Don't sit here and say, man, I wish I was taught these things. Okay, teach your child this so they don't have to go through it. Teach them how to balance a checkbook. Teach them so they don't struggle. I had to learn the hard way. Hell, my sister's learning now. And my sister, in the last, year and a half? Year and a half. Now is that time. Like I said, no excuses, guys. If you have kids, take time to teach them. If you're an artist, push out new art, perfect your art. If you are a local venue or a local friend, try to get your friends to support you. Keep pushing out that hey, look, just because I can't come to you or you can't come to me, I still got other stuff that I got to sell. I still got to make money. At the end of the day, guys, take this opportunity, not as a punishment, but as this is an opportunity for me to finally get my craft down to point. And everything in the meantime, in between time, that whole human interaction, you could do like I'm doing, do lives. If you need to entertain people, be live. And yes, people are going to be like, bro, I'm seeing some of y'all be live all the day time. Guess what? That don't matter. If that's what you need to survive, survive. We are a generation that is going to learn how to survive one way or another. Take this opportunity to survive and be great. Like I said, guys, I'm sorry I missed out on the reviews and the questions that I submitted. I'm going to have to hit that on a later time and a later date. I appreciate you guys checking in on this live. I hope you guys appreciate some of the things that I'm telling you. Maybe it's an eye-opener for some of you. Hopefully it helps you guys push forward and figure something out to do during this quarantine, because we don't know how long we're going to be in lockdown. We don't know how long all these other places are going to be in lockdown. So take this opportunity to better yourself, better your children, spend time with your kids and invest in their education and invest in you. Don't sit here and trickle into old habits and reach out to toxic people. Invest in better you. Now is that time to start that diet. Now is that time to go ahead and work out. Make sure you guys continue being great. And if you are a local artist and you're on my IG, or if you follow my IG, if you need somebody to sit here and promote you right now, now is the time to reach out to me. I will sit here and spam your content. Reach out to me personally, because if you don't reach out to me, I'm not going to know. But reach out to me and I will start pushing out your content and letting you guys know, like, hey, you need to check out this artist. You need to check out this. Send me pictures. I'll tag you in it. I will help my friends as much as I can, within reason. So guys, do for each other. Push it forward. Now is that time to make sure you guys help each other out. Like, hell, I know for me being a podcaster now, I still model, but I can't model right now. So my modeling is on hold until this stops, because I can't get nowhere unless I want to drive, and I'm not in the mood to drive just to be in one spot for a day. I'm not going to drive 17 hours just to be in Chicago for a day and then have to drive another 17 hours to come back home to go to work in the next day. It makes no sense. So, like I said, guys, support your friends, support your family, support yourself, better yourself. Protect your energy, stay hydrated, wash your hands, stop touching every damn thing, and meditate. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful time. And if you're not, figure out how to have a wonderful time. Figure it out. There's plenty of opportunities to figure it out. Pinterest is there. Like I said, protect your energy and have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I will see you guys next week. Well, next month when we are on episode 20. And we're talking about stigmas, because guess what? After this 20 episodes, guys, you guys have been sticking out with me on 20 episodes of my podcast. So we'll see. We'll do something with 20. We'll figure it out. But I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Bye.